Thank you, Chairman Klein and Congressman Miller, members of the committee, fellow witnesses this morning. I applaud the bipartisan spirit with which I think we're all undertaking this discussion today, and I know that I'm very honored to be a part of it. I am here for the same reason that you all are. As Chairman Klein and Mr. Miller so eloquently said, and as my fellow witnesses have testified, we know that we need to improve outcomes for kids in America's schools. But the good news is that the country is filled with entrepreneurs, innovators, and systems leaders with bold ideas that can change children's lives. And the federal government matters in how many of these ideas come to fruition. I've seen this up close at the NewSchool's Venture Fund. As a nonprofit venture philanthropy firm, we seek out social entrepreneurs working to improve public education for low-income kids. We help those entrepreneurs grow organizations that achieve breakthrough results. And I've seen these same truths in my recent role as president of the California Board of Education. Here's an example. Aspire Public Schools was founded a decade ago on a college for certain philosophy, on attention to data and smart management. Today, that idea has turned into 30 public charter schools serving more than 10,000 largely poor and minority students. And last year, 100% of Aspire graduates were accepted to college. And Aspire is today the highest performing school system serving low-income kids in California. Or take Teacher U, which set out to transform teacher preparation in New York by focusing on results in the classroom. Last summer, Teacher U graduated its first cohort of teachers with something revolutionary: measurable evidence that they had helped their students advance a full grade or more in a year. We need more Aspires and more Teacher U's, yet reform remains an unnatural act in our school systems, which have their own Newtonian logic. To every good idea, there's well-financed opposition. My colleagues in the field need your help in making that fight fairer. That means playing a smart, limited role that helps local leaders and local entrepreneurs do things that are essential but politically difficult. Here are 3 examples of the unique role the federal government can and should play. First, government can continue to protect the unprotected by focusing on outcomes for low-income, minority, and special needs students. No Child Left Behind was not a perfect law, but the transparency created by requiring states to report student achievement by subgroup has been a powerful driver of reform. Please stay steadfast in that commitment. Second, you can foster innovation through targeted incentives that ensure we don't try to meet 21st century challenges with 19th century tools and policies. And innovation isn't just technology, it's new ideas that create better results. Innovators disrupt calcified systems, and they prove the possible through results, removing excuses and catalyzing change. And we know from experience that funding innovation works. Among the 200+ schools in our own portfolio, 91% of its graduates enroll in college. And as we have learned, targeted incentive funds drive policy innovation disproportionate to their cost and can create cover when reform is politically difficult at the local level. Often, parents' and kids' interests don't prevail at the local level. Incentives can help to combat systemic gridlock caused by entrenched interest groups. And finally, you can speed reform through your support of states as they transition to the voluntary common standards advanced by nearly 40 governors, which will establish a level playing field for all players, states, districts, schools, and service providers, allowing the best innovations to scale beyond state boundaries. Beyond these broad strokes, there are a few examples of specific policies that will advance innovation and help states and local communities, particularly underserved communities, dramatically raise outcomes for their students. First, please support and fund fully the Charter Schools program to support the growth of high-quality charters and support strong charter accountability for those that underperform. Second, please consider using Title II funds to drive the growth of smart and innovative teacher training organizations focused on results. and to drive the deployment of evaluation and pay systems for teachers that recognize performance. Third, help states clear away policies, such as fixed student-teacher ratios and seat time requirements that prevent the spread of effective technologies that are revolutionizing the way students learn and teachers teach. There's a smart, limited, vital role for the federal government to play in education. I hope that you'll embrace it with enthusiasm and move to reauthorize the Elementary and Secondary Education Act. Thanks again for the privilege of speaking with you today.